Smarajnanandasya Jnananjana Salakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahim Nadadi Supadantikam Mandeham Sri Gurum Sri Yodapadakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanyutam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sargana Lita Sri Vishakha Nidustam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyacha Kripa Sindhubhyacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimad Bhagavatam. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namne. Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatridesenti Tarine Mukam Karoti Vajalam Nangam Lengate Giri Yakrapadamahmande Sri Gurum Dinakarinam Paramanandamadhavam Sri Chaitanyam Isaram. Now we recite the prayers to Srimad Bhagavatam. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayanti Shushrusho Sratadhanasya Vasudeva Gadhariji Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punyatirtha Nishevanat Shranvatham Sokatha Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtanat Hridayandasto Abhadrani Vidunoti Surat Sadam Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Tada Rajas Tamo Bhava Kamalopadayaschye Chedayatairana Vitham Stidam Satye Prasidati Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavat Bhakti Yogadaha Bhagavat Tattva Jnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate Vidyate Hriday Grandhi Siddhyande Sarva Samsaya Kshiyande Jasya Karmani Drashtaye Vatmanishware. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nara Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanacha Nandagopa Kumaraya Gopindaya Namo Namah. Nama Pankaja Napaya Nama Pankaja Maline Nama Pankaja Netraya Namaste Pankajanke. Hare Krishna. So,
Mathaji, can you read the previous verse also? It is in relation to Gajendra only.
Yeah,
15.
yeah, I was thinking of doing that.
Actually, yesterday I read 16 instead of 15. So.
Really? Really? Okay. So you want me to go through the entire 15 verse?
Yeah, you can read Mathaji because this is same past time only.
Okay, I will combine both. Okay, then. I will read 15. 1 second. Share screen. my Lord, I can't find my screen. Let me go. Here, 2715. Okay. And go to this one and share this one. 2715. Okay. So you can see my screen, Prabha?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So, so today we are discussing Lord's incarnation, Lord's appearance to protect Gajendra. So we'll read both 15 and 16 together because it's the same pastime. Okay. Anda sarasyuruba urubelena pade grahito grahena yudhapati rambuja hasta artaha ahedamadi purusha kila lokanatha tirtha sravaha sravana mangala namatheya. One more time. Anda sarasi urubelena pade grahito grahena yuthapati rambuja hastartaham ahedamadi purusha kila lokanatha tirtha sravana mangala namatheyam. So we'll go through the synonyms first. Anda sarasi, within the river. Uru Belena, by superior strength. Pade, leg, grahita, being taken up. Grahena, by the crocodile. Yuthapati, of the leader of the elephants. Sorry. Amboja hasta, with a lotus flower in the hand. Artha, greatly aggrieved. Aha, addressed. Idam, like this. Adi Purusha, the original enjoyer. Akhila Lokanatha, the Lord of the universe. Tirtha Sravaha, as famous as a place of pilgrimage. Sravana Mangala, all good simply by hearing the name. Namadheya, whose holy name is worth chanting. Translation and purport by Divine Kesula Prabhupada Kijay. The leader of the elephants, whose leg was attacked in a river by a crocodile of superior strength, was much aggrieved. Taking a lotus flower in his trunk, he addressed the Lord saying, O original enjoyer, Lord of the universe, O deliverer, as famous as a place of pilgrimage. All are purified simply by hearing your holy name, which is worthy to be chanted. Purport. The history of delivering the leader of the elephants, whose leg was attacked in the river by the superior strength of the crocodile, is described in the 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Since the Lord is absolute knowledge, there is no difference between his holy name and the personality of Godhead. The leader of the elephants was much distressed when he was attacked by the crocodile. Although the elephant is always stronger than the crocodile, the latter is stronger than the elephant when it is in the water. And because the elephant was a great devotee of the Lord in his previous birth, he was able to chant the holy name of the Lord by dint of his past good deeds. Every living entity is always distressed in this material world because this place is such that at every step one has to meet with some kind of distress. But one who is supported by his past good deeds engages himself in the devotional service of the Lord, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7:16. Those who are supported by impious acts cannot be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, even though they are distressed. This is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7:15. The personality of Godhead Hari appeared at once on the back of his eternal bearer Garuda and delivered the elephant. So we'll go a little bit paragraph by paragraph. That is easier. Here we have in the 8th canto, it is being described very much in very detail how the king of elephants, the Gajendra, was playing in the lake. The scene is set in Trikuta Mountains. Trikuta Mountains, so called because its 3 peaks are made of iron, silver, and gold, and the mountain is 80,000 miles high, and the length and width are also the same. So there's a huge mountain, and it is surrounded by the milk ocean. Imagine. And the mountains, the scenery is like, there's like an eternal spring there. And the denizens of the heavenly planets are coming to enjoy the atmosphere, and they are always, its place is always busy. And Gajendra is, there is this lake called, the garden called Ritumat, and there is the lake in that garden. And it is said his trunk is oozing liquor, drooling liquor, and he is surrounded by his family. So many she-elephants and the young ones and everything. And he is in the mood of enjoyment. And he goes into the river, and there the crocodile catches hold of his foot. Soon the scene changes. And his friends and relatives now recognize he is in danger, and they are not able to free him from the grip of the crocodile. So Gajendra fights with the crocodile for a very long time with all his strength. In the mountains, he is like the king of the wildlife there. All the animals will flee at his sight. But now, being in the water, which is not his natural environment, the crocodile has the upper hand, because for him water is his residence. So gradually Gajendra loses his prowess, and the battle goes on for 1,000 years, it is said. So he calls upon the Lord. And offers him prayers, because he is a devotee. In his past life, he can recollect the glories of the Lord, and he plucks a lotus flower from the lake with his trunk and offers it to the Lord and calls out to him. This is the example of Artha Jitnasu. That is Artharthi, the 4 kinds of devotees who call out to the Lord. So we will go see 7:16 a little bit. Chadurvide bhajande mam jana sukritino arjuna artho jitnasura-artharthi jnani cha paradarshapa. Though Krishna says, "O best among the Bharatas, our 4 kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute." So here is Gajendra is in great distress. And Krishna says, Sukritino Arjuna. That is only those who have the pious deeds in their past life. Only they remember Krishna at times of distress. And those who are not Sukritis, they can't remember the Lord even in very distressful condition. So, sorry. So, I went off of, let me get back. From Gita back to this one. So we'll read the next paragraph. Okay. And the end of the paragraph says the personality of God and Hari appeared at once on the back of his eternal bearer Garuda and delivered the elephant. The elephant was conscious of his relation with the Supreme Lord. He addressed the Lord as Adi Purusha, the original enjoyer. Both the Lord and the living beings are conscious and are therefore enjoyers. But the Lord is the original enjoyer because he is the creator of everything. In a family, both the father and his sons are undoubtedly enjoyers. But the father is the original enjoyer and the sons are subsequent enjoyers. A pure devotee knows well that everything in the universe is the property of the Lord and that a living entity can enjoy a thing as ordained by the Lord. A living being cannot even touch a thing which is not allotted to him. This idea of the original enjoyer is explained very nicely in the Ishopanishad. One who knows this difference between the Lord and himself never accepts anything without first offering to the Lord. So we know Ishopanishad first verse says, Ishavasyam idam sarvam yatkinja jagatyam jagat tena tektena punjida magrida kasyachit dhanam magrida kasyachit dhanam. That is, all that is Ishavasyam idam sarvam, all that is seen in this world, it's Ishavasya. The Supreme Lord is the proprietor and owner of everything here. Yat kinja jagatyam jagat. Whatever you see in this world. Tena tyaktena punjita. That is, whatever is due to you, whatever is your bare necessities, you can certainly enjoy. But beware that you do not touch what is due to another. So it is just like there is this big cake and in the family is surrounding and everybody has a certain small portion. Like that, this whole world, its resources are meant to be enjoyed only as far as one's necessities call for. So it is in fact, according, this is spiritual communism actually. They have material communism, but the communists are themselves corrupt. We have seen, heard so many corrupt governments, and the people are always in distress. They are always deprived of what they actually deserve. That is where are the capitalists? They want to grab everything within their reach, and they say, oh, we are the rich and the privileged in this world. So there is all kinds of competitions for enjoyment in this world, and there is total distress, as we know. There is always wars because everybody is, they want to establish their supremacy for the resources, and whoever have the oil-rich countries and the other kinds of rich, the mineral-rich, whatever, they want to establish their supremacy and acquire other small nations. So there is always a big calamity in this material world. But here, Gajendra is calling the Lord the Adi Purusha. He is the original enjoyer. And whatever is in the material world is Prakriti or nature. And he is the enjoyer. So a pure devotee of the Lord will accept anything only after offering him. He accepts everything as mercy of the Lord. That is the so here the Gajendra was in a mood of enjoyment, and so now he is calling, oh Lord, I was in the wrong. Please rescue me. I find my whatever was in the my family, my wives, all my friends, they are all now they have proven valuable soldiers in my desperate situation. So I call upon you, my Lord. So, and then the next paragraph, the elephant addressed the Lord as Akhila Lokanatha, or the Lord of the universe, who is therefore the Lord of the elephant also. The elephant, being a pure devotee of the Lord, specifically deserved to be saved from the attack of the crocodile. And because it is a promise of the Lord that his devotee will never be vanquished, it was quite befitting that the elephant called upon the Lord to protect him. And the merciful Lord also at once responded. The Lord is the protector of everyone, but he is the first protector of one who acknowledges the superiority of the Lord instead of being so falsely proud as to deny the superiority of the Lord or to claim to be equal to him. He is ever superior. A pure devotee of the Lord knows this difference between the Lord and himself. Therefore, a pure devotee is given first preference because of his full dependence, whereas the person who denies the existence of the Lord and declares himself the Lord is called Asura, and as such, he is given protection by the strength of limited power, subject to the sanction of the Lord. Since the Lord is superior to everyone, his perfection is also superior. No one can imagine. So, Lord is the, Krishna has said, Pratijnanihi kaundeya na me bhakta pranasyati. He will, a devotee of mine will never be vanquished. So, one who takes a shelter of the Lord, even in the face of in the face of extreme danger, that is the elephant is remembering the Lord. Because he has offered his surrender to him in his past life, he can recall the relationship with the Lord. So he is the elephant address delivered from the sinful acts, but one can be freed from all sinful reactions simply by remembering his holy name. The Lord is there. One can be free from all sinful reactions after reaching a place of pilgrimage, but one can have the same benefit at home or at any place simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. For a pure devotee, there is no need to go to the holy place of pilgrimage. He can be delivered from all sinful acts simply by remembering the Lord in earnestness. A pure devotee of the Lord never commits any sinful acts, but because the whole world is full of the sinful atmosphere, even a pure devotee may commit a sin unconsciously as a matter of course. One who commits sinful acts consciously cannot be worthy of being a devotee of the Lord, but a pure devotee who unconsciously does something sinful is certainly delivered by the Lord, because a pure devotee remembers the Lord always. So these are all very glowing tributes, the Lord's characteristic. Tirtha Sravaha, That is one who is famous as a place of pilgrimage. Here in this paragraph, Srila Prabhupada is describing how a pure devotee is always in contact with the Lord, actually, because simply by remembering and chanting the holy names of the Lord, one is directly in touch with the Lord. He doesn't have to regret, oh, I am not living in a holy place. But a holy place is recommended by the Lord Chaitanya has recommended. That is also, this is the best thing about it, bhakti yoga. That is, one's heart is, is in a compact of love with the Supreme Lord. That is what Srila Prabhupada says when he talks about in the pastime of Ambarish Maharaj. So the pure devotee is always protected by the Lord. So the Lord's holy name is called Sravana Mangal. This means that one receives everything auspicious simply by hearing the holy name. In another place, in Srimad Bhagavatam, his holy name is described as Punya Sravana Kirtana. It is a pious act simply to chant and hear all about the Lord. The Lord descends to this earth and acts like others in connection with the activities of the world just to create subject matters for hearing about Him. Otherwise, the Lord has nothing to do in the world, nor has He any obligation to do anything. He comes out of His own causeless mercy and acts as He desires. That is paritranaya satvana vinashaya cha dushkrata dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge. So Lord can achieve this simply being in his abode, but he comes so that the devotees feel the protection by his merciful presence, and his pastimes are forever for glorification. He acts in according to the place and circumstances, and so there are all these pastimes for the devotees to chant and glorify for eternity. So the Vedas and Puranas are full of descriptions of his different activities, so that people in general may naturally be eager to hear and read something about his activities. Generally, however, in modern fictions and novels of the world, in the modern fictions and novels of the world occupy a great part of people's valuable time. Such literatures cannot do good to anyone. On the contrary, they agitate the young mind unnecessarily and increase the modes of passion and ignorance, leading to increasing bondage to material conditions. The same aptitude for hearing and rendering is better utilized in hearing and reading of the Lord's activities. This will give one all-round benefit. It is concluded, therefore, that the holy name of the Lord and topics in relation with Him are always worth hearing, and therefore He is called here in this verse as Namatheya, or one whose holy name is worth chanting. So, we have already reached 8 o'clock, but it was a long purport. So, here, how important it is to take to a devotional service of the Lord. So here in the next verse, the Lord appears and cuts the crocodile from the the crocodile was also king who in his previous life. And in this pastime, both the enemy, Gajendra, the devotee, and his enemy, both deserve liberation at the hands of the Lord. So who was a king who was subject to a curse and living as a crocodile in the river. And so the Lord liberated the crocodile. He became like a Gandharva and flew to his abode. And because the Lord personally pulled out the elephant by his touch, he becomes he becomes a Vaikuntha personality, like with the 4 arms and wearing yellow garments, and he obtains what is called Sayupya Mukti, the Gajendra. So the story of Gajendra being cursed by sage Agastya, because he was so absorbed in his meditation that when the sage Agastya came by, he did not pay any attention. So the great sage Agastya said, "Oh, this Indradumna, he is so puffed up. He let him. He's he's not conscious of any of his surroundings. Let him go take birth as in the mode of ignorance as an elephant." So this is very strange also, that a pure devotee becomes subject to the curse by the sage for doing nothing wrong at all. So we do not know the providence, what the journey is ahead of us actually. This is we heard also in the story of King Chitraketu how he has to take birth. He was the king of the Vidyadhara planet, and then he has to come down as Vritrasura. Similarly, here King Indradumna, by the curse of Agastya Muni, becomes the elephant. And we can see in the prayers by Gajendra, he says, "Oh Lord, I no longer want this existence of both my internal and external coverings." Externally, in the gross body is that of an elephant, which is dull, and then a mode of ignorance signifies. And then internally, because he is come under the modes, his prayers are so exalted. Gajendra's prayers in chapter 8, in Canto 8, chapter chapter 8, Canto 8, chapter 4, exactly. So because we have exceeded the time, let me stop here. And it's one of the very heart-rending situations that is described here, that finally all the fallible soldiers of family and society, etc., of no use at the moment of crisis or distress. Only the Lord can offer that protection. So he is called He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate. Deenabandho, that is one who is in in distress, the Lord rescues, and then the Gajendra doesn't specifically call out to Mukunda, but Lord Brahma, and he calls out to the Supreme One, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva, they think, "Oh, this is not me, this is not me." Whereas Krishna comes, seated on his bird carrier Garuda at once. So Srila Prabhupada says, where the Lord resides, so far, far away. But for the devotee, he is the sure rescuer at the time of he comes, from immediate, without any waste of time. So please, thank you very much for your patient listening. Yeah, I'm sorry if I misspoke anything. Maybe we have time for one question, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, I just have a comment, not a question. Very good class, and it was very purifying to hear from you about Gajendra's story. That is one of my favorites.
Thank you very much.
You spoke very well, and also reminded us how the Lord is the ultimate shelter and how Krishna protects his devotees. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
There is a comment from Sundarila Mataji. Very nice for reminding 4 class of men. Artha the verse. Very heart touching Gajendra Moksha pastime.
Thank you. Thank you. Mataji. So yes, the results are there is what is called a phalashruti. In remembering the pastimes of the Lord, certain pastimes, there are certain results that the soul is bestowed on. So Gajendra's prayers have utmost merit. One who recites this pastime in the early morning hours is definitely deserving of the Lord. Lord himself has promised in the 8th canto. We can read in the detailed description of Gajendra Moksha. So anybody who remembers me and recites these prayers certainly will attain liberation, and that is the Lord will rescue him. So that is the Phalashruti. Of course, every part of Bhagavatam, every sloka has its, is even half a sloka it says recited, even in, unconsciously. It will, about your liberation, what to speak about. This, so that is the glory of Punya Sravana Kirtana.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Class. Actually, this Gajendra pastime, there are many lessons. I mean, one is actually, I think, he was so powerful king, right? In the previous life, even in this life, he was very powerful by strength wise, right?
Yeah.
So, but still, it is all taken by just
Yeah.
something which
Yes.
is subordinate to him.
Yes,
One doesn't need to be powerful than us to take our power or our strength, our
Yes.
wealth, our beauty, or whatever is one make it popped off. But yeah, it can be taken by anyone at any moment.
Women, yes.
Lord's raising.
Padam yet vipadam. That is that's a beauty of the Bhagavatam, the description of the very, what to say, very heavenly region of the Trikuta mountains, and how this elephant is enjoying so much strength and opulence and enjoying. And so it is a very, we can think that the people who are so rich and able to enjoy everything, we hear about the cruise ships and whatnot, and any time we can be, this material world is one of danger. Every step there is danger.
One other thing, Mataji, I think in the next verse, immediately comes, right? Instantly comes.
Yes, instantly.
There, Prabhupada says the Lord is very far away for a
Very
person
far.
who
Yeah,
doesn't
that is
want
in
to
the
reach.
next verse. Yeah, text
Yeah,
is.
the Lord reaches for a devotee who calls him, so he's instantly there. It
Yeah.
doesn't take any time. I mean,
Yeah.
afar,
Yeah.
right? So
Yes. So
all
he's.
of us might have some experience about it. I mean, not
Yeah.
in personal form of the Lord,
Yes.
but in some form or other, right? We all might have
Yes.
seen how the Lord reciprocates
Yes. But
devotees.
because Gajendra consciously says, you are also the super soul, they seated in the heart of all. He's very near as well, because he is present as a super soul in the hearts of all living entities. So it's very wonderful. See Ambarish Maharaj's story, and the disc of the Lord is right there protecting him. He doesn't need to, even call out for Krishna. The disc of the Lord comes chasing Durvasa Muni. So a pure devotee of the Lord is actually physically under the shelter of the Lord. We know that from Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Does you have any comments or share?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you for the very nice class.
Hare
I
Krishna.
was thinking that all these warnings about Padam Padam Yat Vibdam, all these stories that are described in Bhagavatam, they are only given to us by these Vedic scriptures. Nowhere else are these warnings or these warnings are given. So just so we can be alert at every point in our life. So how nice it is that Bhagavatam is giving us this opportunity to hear that
Yes.
this life is so, like, it can change at any moment, so temporary.
Yes.
That's what I was wondering.
Yes. Bhagavatam is not, is absolute truth. I mean, it doesn't, it is the completely transcendental literature. There is no hiding any that this place is only a, just like it is said, the family association. It is compared to a place where wayfarers, they may gather to drink some water or something and exchange some little bit of conversation. That is how the family association is compared. It is so transient, all kinds of, but all the same, we act as though we are, rooted here, and I am the owner and proprietor of my, I mean my. That is what Gajendra story is also teaching us. Thank you very much, Devi Murthy. So these are all very purifying. I mean, the literatures, and whatever, and Bhagavad Gita verses are quoted by Srila Prabhupada, that is, I forget that one right now. Bhajande mam dritha vrata, dvanda moha nirmukta, bhajande mam dritha vrata. I forget that one. How?
Yesham tvantagatam papam.
Yesham tu agdagata papam. Jananam punya karmana. Dvanda moha nirmuktam.
Vedvanda moha nirmukta.
Bhajande mam dritha vrata. They do not have, this is dvanda moha. That is they have no, this duality. They are beyond the duality of happiness and distress, the pure devotees. And they are only, utilizing this lifetime in progressing, in making spiritual progress. Because, as Kali Yuga is advancing, even the very life is so insecure, we feel all kinds of.
It's 8:15 now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mati. Thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhya kripa sindhubhya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Gajendra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada.